Brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, sons and daughters of Africa, today I stand before you not as one man, but as the voice of millions who have carried pain, hope, and courage through generations. Let the whole world listen. Africa is no longer a land waiting for permission. Africa is no longer a child begging for scraps. Africa is rising with its own hands, its own ideas, and its own future. Look around you. Look at the soil that gave birth to us, the forests that sheltered us, the rivers that nourished us. For centuries, foreigners came, they took, they stole, and they told us we were nothing without them. They told us we could not create, we could not build, we could not dream. But today, we break their chains. Today we prove them wrong. Burkina Faso is launching the world's first wooden metro buses. Buses made by African hands, crafted from African wood, driven by African innovation. This is not just transportation. This is revolution on wheels. This is proof that when we trust our roots, when we trust our people, nothing is impossible. The world will ask, why Africa? And I will answer, because we are not ashamed of who we are. We do not need steel imported from Europe to move our people. We do not need permission from the West to innovate. Our forests are strong. Our craftsmen are skilled. Our courage is unshakable. These buses are a symbol that Africa can build with what Africa owns. My people, do you see what this means? Every wooden bus that rolls across our cities is a declaration of independence. Every passenger who steps inside is not just traveling. He is participating in history. He is saying to the world, we are awake, we are free, we are proud. I say to the youth of Africa, you are not born to be jobless. You are not born to flee your homeland. You are born to build, to create, to lift this continent higher than any empire that ever tried to control us. The wooden buses you see today are not the end. They are the beginning. Tomorrow, it will be African trains, African planes, African roads that shine with African sweat, not foreign contracts. Let the colonizers hear me well. You no longer decide the destiny of this land. You no longer write our future with your banks, your armies, and your lies. We will write it ourselves, in our own languages, with our own hands, on our own soil. The time of fear is over. The time of begging is over. The time of Africa's dignity has begun. And to my people, I say, never again believe that you are small. Never again lower your eyes before those who exploit you. Stand tall, because the world is watching and the world is learning from you. Burkina Faso, once called the land of upright men, is upright again. And with these buses, with this vision, we are showing Africa what it means to rise without asking anyone's permission. Do not think these buses are made only of wood. No, they are made of courage. They are made of resistance. They are made of the blood of our ancestors and the hope of our children. When they move, they carry more than passengers. They carry the dream of a free Africa. And I tell you today, the fight is not over. There will be those who try to mock us, those who try to stop us. But I promise you, for every attempt they make, we will answer with more innovation, more courage, more unity. They cannot stop a people who have decided to be free. Burkina Faso is not alone. Mali, Niger, Ghana, Congo, Senegal, all of Africa stands together. Our time is now. We must unite, stand shoulder to shoulder, tear down the borders that divide us, and crush the chains that hold us back. A united Africa is a force no empire can defeat. Let the wooden metro buses roll. Let them roar through our streets. Let them remind us every day that we are capable of miracles. Let every child who sees them know that they are heirs of a continent that will never kneel again. My brothers, my sisters, my comrades, raise your fists with me. This is not just about buses. This is about power. This is about dignity. This is about Africa rising from the ashes of colonization and standing as a light for the world. From Ouagadougou to every corner of this continent, the message is clear. Africa will build its own future. Africa will carry its own people. Africa will lead its own destiny. No more masters, no more chains, only freedom, only pride, only victory. The buses are ready. The people are ready. The revolution is moving, and nothing will stop us. Long live Burkina Faso. Long live Africa. Long live the struggle for freedom. Africa is no longer waiting for permission or relying on outsiders. It is rising with its own hands, its own ideas, and its own resources. For too long, foreigners came and took what belonged to us. They stripped our lands, silenced our voices, and made us believe we could not build without them. They told us that without their technology, without their money, without their so-called expertise, we were nothing. But today, we have broken that lie. Today, Africa is showing the world that we do not need to beg, we do not need to wait, we do not need to bow. We have our soil, we have our forests, we have our people, and above all, we have the courage to transform them into greatness. Africa is not a child anymore. It is a continent rising with fire in its spirit and strength in its hands. The launch of our wooden metro buses is proof that we can dream, and we can deliver. It is proof that the time of submission is over and the time of creation has begun. Our ancestors fought for freedom with their blood. Now it is our turn to honor them by building the future with our hands. The launch of the world's first wooden metro buses in Burkina Faso is a symbol of independence, pride, and African innovation rooted in local strength. These buses are not just vehicles moving people from one place to another. They are a revolution on wheels, a declaration that Africa will build with what Africa owns. We do not need imported steel or foreign contracts to carry our people. We have our own forests, our own skilled craftsmen, and our own vision. This project is not about copying the world, but about showing the world that we can lead in our own way, with our own resources. Every piece of wood carved, every seat crafted, every engine installed carries the spirit of resistance and the determination of a nation that refuses to be told it is incapable. When these buses roll across our cities, they are more than transportation. They are a moving statement of African dignity. They say to the world, here is a people unashamed of their roots. Here is a nation that turns its resources into pride. Here is Burkina Faso rising with strength. These buses belong to us, and through them we declare that our future will not be borrowed. It will be built by African hands. Every bus built and every passenger carried represents a declaration of freedom, courage, and the rebirth of African dignity. When our people step inside these wooden metro buses, they are not simply moving through the city, they are stepping into history. Each journey is a reminder that we no longer live under the shadow of colonizers. We no longer wait for foreign approval. We no longer doubt our worth. These buses are made of more than wood. They are made of the spirit of our ancestors, the dreams of our children, and the unshakable will of our people. They roll across our land as symbols of pride, shouting to the world that Africa can build, Africa can innovate, and Africa can lead. For too long, we were told we were small, that our ideas were weak, that our future depended on others. But today, as these buses move through our streets, they tell every African child you are powerful, you are capable, and you are free. Each seat is filled with courage. Each wheel turns with determination. Each engine hums with the song of independence. This is not transportation. It is the heartbeat of a nation refusing to kneel. It is dignity carried on wheels. It is Burkina Faso writing its own story with strength and pride. The youth of Africa are called to create, to build, and to lead. Never to beg, flee, or surrender their future. You were not born to wait at the doors of foreign embassies. You were not born to cross deserts and seas in search of dignity. You were born to stand tall on your own soil and shape the destiny of this continent. The wooden buses of Burkina Faso are not just a project. They are a message to every young African that the power to innovate and transform lies within you. These buses are proof that with imagination, courage, and unity, we can turn our own resources into greatness. To the young hands of Africa, I say this: you are the engineers, the builders, the protectors of tomorrow. Do not let anyone convince you that you are too small, too poor, or too dependent to dream big. Every plank of wood crafted into these buses carries the fingerprints of a future that belongs to you. Do not run from your land. Rise with it. Do not bow your head. Lift it high. The future of Africa will not be handed to us. It will be built by us and led by its fearless youth. Foreign powers no longer control Africa's destiny. Unity, resistance, and innovation will write a new chapter for this continent. For centuries, They dictated our future with their banks and their lies. But those days are over. We no longer wait for their approval. We no longer accept their contracts written in chains. And we no longer bow to their false promises. The strength of Africa lies in the hands of its people, and when we choose to unite, no empire can stand against us. Every wooden bus that moves through our streets is a reminder that our destiny belongs to us and us alone. We are not afraid of their insults. We are not shaken by their threats. And we are not blinded by their illusions of superiority. Our answer is simple. Africa will build with what it has. Africa will dream with its own imagination. Africa will lead with its own heart. This is the power of resistance. Not just to fight back, but to create, to innovate, to rise higher than those who tried to hold us down. And when we resist together, when we innovate together, when we stand together, Africa becomes a force that cannot be divided, bought, or defeated. Burkina Faso's wooden buses are more than transport. They are living proof that Africa can rise, unite, and lead the world with its own vision. These buses are not just made of timber and engines. They are made of courage, resistance, and pride carved into every detail. When they move through our streets, they carry more than passengers. They carry the voice of a continent declaring, "We will never kneel again." They remind us that our resources are not a curse but a blessing, that our hands are not weak but powerful, that our ideas are not inferior but revolutionary. Each bus is a moving symbol of unity, showing that when we trust ourselves and work together, Africa can achieve miracles without asking permission from anyone. They roar with the strength of a people who refuse to be silent. They shine with the dignity of a nation determined to inspire the world. This is not just Burkina Faso's achievement. It is Africa's victory, a light that tells every brother and sister across the continent that our future is in our hands. From the forests that gave the wood, to the craftsmen who shaped it, to the leaders who believed in it. This is Africa standing tall, proving to the world that our destiny will never be borrowed. It will be built by us, and it will inspire generations to come.